I would describe American universities' dining options as
undesirable.
Subpar.
doesn't feel like most of them are fulfilling and cooked.
Very limited.
The bad choices overwhelm the good choices.
It's no secret that transitioning to the college food scene is no walk in the park for most students. Especially here at American, many students are living away from home for the first time, experiencing new places, new people, and new challenges. But how does our unique environment play into how students consume food? And how does that consumption affect their day-to-day lives? It's not something many people choose to look closely into, but we think that the answers to these questions could greatly benefit our students in all aspects of their lives. With this mission in mind, we set out to work.
Students' food habits change for a variety of different reasons when they get to college. One, you have to make decisions for yourself, so no one is standing over you making sure that you have a well-rounded diet. That's a decision you have to make for yourself. And no one is really controlling the portion sizes of your meals, so that's a decision that you have to make for yourself.
If I was going to say the main reason why students are eating less on campus or eating less healthy, it's because they don't have the structure they had previously in terms of when they have their meal schedule. They are running from class to class, a lot of times because of time limitations, stress, they're skipping meals. That said, they probably are eating more calories when they go to a setting like TDR, where there's going to be a lot of food options available in more or less unlimited supply.
After talking to these professionals, we decided that there was only one way to best see how these changes manifest themselves in student life, and that's to actually see how students eat at AU. So we decided to follow around a first-year AU student for the day.
My name is Emma. You guys are gonna follow me around and see what I eat in a day at AU.
We're going to the DAV. I hate my Tuesday classes, and so I really have to reward myself when I show up to them, which is why I'm buying coffee instead of using a meal swipe or something. At the DAV, I usually get a large coffee and a pastry of some kind. Today I got a blueberry muffin. It's usually just whatever I'm feeling on Tuesdays. We're getting Freshie for lunch today because it's been closed for the last 3 days, and Freshie's all I eat here.
Yeah, I consider this pretty nutritious. There's leafy greens and protein and good stuff in here. So I was a vegetarian in high school. It's pretty hard here for me to find vegetables and things that have protein in it that I like eating. I prefer the protein sources that are available at Freshie because they're pretty consistent. But it's a guessing game when you go to TDR whether or not the chicken is going to be good or not.
Emma grabbed coffee from Starbucks in between classes that afternoon, but was in such a rush that she didn't have time to interview. Although we checked in for our dinner filming times, she later confirmed with us that she never got dinner that day due to her busy work and class schedule. If the diet Emma practiced through our time with her doesn't seem healthy or nutritious, it's because it's not. In comparison to the recommended daily intake values for 19 to 30-year-old females, our analysis of Emma's food intake shows that in the course of this one day, she received 90% of the recommended amount of protein, 41.6% of the recommended intake of vitamin C, and just 12.7% of the vitamin D that she should have consumed in the day. And Emma's not alone in her habits. In our survey of over 200 students on AU meal plans, 66% reported eating more irregular meals, and 59% reported eating less healthily than they did at home. 36% of our respondents even reported experiencing disordered eating at AU, an increase of 10% from the amount of individuals who reported experiencing this prior to coming to AU. And while this may seem like something that just happens in college, the health impacts can be quite serious.
So if students are not eating, that tends to be the bigger issue. So if I see students who are losing a significant amount of weight, that can also affect on their stress levels, their mental health, their ability to function as students, as well as the fact that students who are losing a significant amount of weight can sometimes be suppressing their immune systems because they're not getting what they need in order to function at their best. That is also going to affect their physical health in many respects. And we do know that there are ties that have to look at nutritional status and as well as mental health and physical health. Vitamin D, for example, is a vitamin that students who live at this latitude frequently can have some deficiency in, and we do know that that vitamin especially is one that can be tied into mental health issues, specifically depression and anxiety.
So there is a cyclical effect between eating, mental health, eating. So if I'm using the example of brownies and bacon, and that's all you're eating, and you find yourself unable to fight off stress because your body doesn't have the correct amount of energy it needs in order to reduce stress, now you're stressed, you're emotionally overloaded, therefore you're not making good decisions for yourself. If you're not making good decisions, here comes that peanut butter milkshake that is so amazing. And where in that cycle do you put a pin to say, you know what, I'm going to eat some broccoli today? You don't really want to eat broccoli when you're not feeling well.
Unfortunately, American's campus is far from exempt from this problem. According to the National College Health Assessment, American university students rank themselves as being slightly more underweight and feeling more overwhelmed than national averages. AU students were also slightly more likely to have described themselves as so depressed that it was difficult to function in the past 2 weeks, or to have considered suicide in the past 12 months. While we definitely can't say that the food at AU causes any kind of illness, our research demonstrates that there